Every little girl grows up dreaming about her happy ever after, but most of us don't have fairy tale scriptwriters making sure we get it. That's where the Happy Ever After show comes in. If you have been waiting for a fairy godmother to wave her magic wand and release your frustrations, create the prosperity you want, and live a life you love, then listen closely. It's time to learn how to make your own wishes come true with your host, Cassie Parks.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Happy Ever After Show. I'm your host, Cassie Parks, and we are getting started in the Manifest 10,000 season, which is all about creating a money mindset that allows more money into your life. I am so excited that you're listening to this because I think when it comes to our businesses, if you're not willing or able to allow more money in your life, you're not going to be able to grow your business the way you want to grow it. And a lot of times I see that's the place where people get stuck, right? They're doing all these things, they're doing all this stuff right, but they just haven't upped their money attraction, their money ceiling, whatever you want to call it, that allows them to bring in more money. So today I'm excited because we're going to talk about limiting beliefs. I know that you were listening to this because you want to welcome more money into your life without the struggle so that you can build your business quicker and easier. And I'm excited about the topic today, which is going to be limiting beliefs and what to do about them. So, if you find yourself having some limiting beliefs about money, or you think there's a limiting belief about money getting in your way of your business success, we're going to talk about that. I'm very excited. What else am I excited about? I am super excited because I have Manifest 10,000 books in my hand. And I have copies of all my books. I've actually written 8 books. 7 of them are currently on Amazon. 7? Yeah, that's right. 7 are on Amazon. Wait, I think that's right. I don't know. I also have a novel coming out soon. So the number is, kind of in that in-between space where it's like, do I have 6, 7, 8? I don't know. Anyway, the point is I have lots of them in print. In fact, I'm looking at Marketing to Serve right here in front of me. I happen to have it on the corner of my desk right now. And so I've had print versions of my book before, but there's something about holding Manifest 10,000 that is just even better than before. And I don't know if it's, because I know it's going to be in bookstores, so that's super excited. It has a different resonance. It has a different power because I know soon somebody's going to be able to walk into a bookstore and be drawn and pick it off the shelf. And that's just such a cool thing to know, just to have the possibility and the vision of that, right? So I'm excited about that. Or I don't know if it's just that this book is the culmination of so much of what I've been teaching. I love all my other books, but this book is really, it's different. Like I had to grow over the years to become the person who wrote this book. I've known all this stuff, I've been teaching it, but I really had to gather it. And it feels the most like me. And in 2 years, maybe it won't, right? And I think that's the feeling is like, this book is like me now. It's who I am. It's what I share. It's all of this work. It's really, a message. And versus, some of my other books, I love them. They're great information. Keep investing in them. And yet they don't feel as current or future self to me. They sort of feel like in the past. So that might be why this book feels extra special. I don't know. I also just love the cover. It feels rich. It's just, who doesn't want a book where it has $100 bills all over the cover? So anyway, that's my exciting news is that I am holding my books, Manifest 10,000, in my hand. And remember, if you love this season of the podcast, you want to get your hands on this physical copy, all you got to do is go to manifest10kbook.com. And I am going to ask you, I would greatly appreciate if you pre-ordered it from one of your favorite sites, Amazon, Books A Million, Pals, Barnes & Noble. There's links on that site that go directly to my book. You can pick your favorite site and invest in that book now. Now you're going to get that, May-ish sometime. But what you're going to do is if you come back, you invest in that book, you pre-order it so that they're going to send it to you in May. If you just get your receipt number and you come back to that page, scroll down and click, there's a big old button at the bottom. Just click on that, put in your name and address, put in your receipt number, and my team and I are going to send you a copy now because I'm the author, so I have copies now, right? So I'm going to send you a copy so that you have the book right now. So it's like a buy one, get one free pre-order deal. And what you're doing is you're actually helping more people find this book. And so that's really why I would love, if you love this podcast, if you love my stuff, you might already have the ebook. But if you would just make that investment in the pre-order so that we can get the pre-orders high. My intention is 10,000 pre-orders. So if everyone counts, right? And my intention to do that is really just to open up more people to this information. So if Manifest 10,000, if the book, the ebook, this podcast, anything I've ever done it had an impact on your life, I would love if you pre-ordered the book, because that will help us get it into more people's hands. That will get it into more bookstores. It'll get it more shelf space, which means that more people will be able to wander in and pick up that book and have access, to this information that they might not have known about before. So I would appreciate if you did that, manifest10kbook.com. And just one more quick announcement before we talk about, actually, I'll wait on that. We'll wait on that announcement. So let's talk about limiting beliefs. This is like one of my favorite topics to talk about because I tend to have a different perspective about limiting beliefs than other people. So one of the questions that I get asked fairly commonly, I don't get asked as much anymore because I actually put it on the website on the, the sales copy for the course, is like, will this course help me deal with my limiting beliefs? And so, of course, Manifest 10,000, everything we're going to talk about in the next episodes, about half a year's worth of episodes, we're going to be on this topic for a while, which excites me for a couple of reasons. Money and having a money mindset that supports abundance and growth and opportunity and possibility really is so important if you want to grow your business and you want to have a business that's your happy ever after. If you can't allow money into your life, or you have a cap on how much you can allow, it's going to create frustration. It's going to create extra work. It's going to create spinning your wheels, simply because money is part of the exchange for what we do, right? And money is so powerful. It's a tool. It's a tool that can help you change the world. And it's also a tool that helps you, it's when your clients make an investment with you, whether, you're a coach or you're in a multi-level marketing and, they're investing in skincare or they're investing in whatever it is for themselves, like they're making an investment and they're making an investment in them. And you have to be able to receive that money. Otherwise, people can't, you can't help them if they can't pay you. And honestly, if you have a business where you're not making money, you can't help people as easy, right? Like if you're stressed in the back of your mind about your bills and how you're going to pay for your kids and how you're going to put food on the table and all that, you can't be fully present with them. So to me, and it has been for a long time, and I truly believe this, I believe money is sacred. It's a sacred exchange, like money being, welcoming money into your life and all that is really, it's sacred. My relationship with money is highly sacred and I respect it as such. So when we talk about, obviously talking about this topic of limiting beliefs is important when it comes to money. So what I tell people is, getting rid of your limiting beliefs about money is really not about shifting those beliefs. It's about stepping into the person who has money and who can receive money. So here's what I see happen. And I talked on the last episode about entrepreneurs and how they come in and sort of what happens with them. And I'm going to talk about what other kind of situation you might be in when it comes to limiting beliefs. So a lot of my clients, most of my clients, this is how they come to me. So when something wasn't awesome in their life, right? When life kind of wasn't fabulous, and maybe you can relate, you found the law of attraction or self-development or the ability to, know that you could have positive thinking and it would change the outcome. So you found something like that. And when you did, it was like, oh, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have control of this. And you started taking like these steps and you started thinking more positively and you started focusing on what you want and things got better. And in the process, you also discovered limiting beliefs. right? Somebody probably told you, you got to shift your limiting beliefs, or you went to somebody. In my case, I've always been an entrepreneur. So at this point in my life, I had a foot detox. I still have the machine. It's just not my business anymore. I just use it for personal use. So I had a foot detox machine. I was new into this business. I was actually sharing the machine with my former boss. We were both wanting to do this, and she was down south and I was up north. And so this is a funny story. We'd actually meet like at this park in the middle off of I'm in Denver, so off of I-25, and we would exchange this silver, what looks like a silver briefcase. So funny, because like it's just, to me, it's a funny image. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoy that story. But that's how, like, I was always willing to do whatever it takes to be an entrepreneur. So that's a little off topic, but so at this point I had this machine. I had it like Sunday to Wednesday, and we'd meet on Wednesday, and then she'd have it for the weekend, and we both scheduled our appointments accordingly. And what we did was we made enough money, doing it to sharing it to buy our second machine. So that was really cool. So anyway, I was doing that, and a friend of mine, her mom wanted to come in, and she's like, "Oh, can I bring my friend?" I said, "Of course." Well, it happened to be this woman that I had known a couple years ago. I'd had a chakra balancing from her. And she came in, and it turns out at this point, which was 3 or 4 years later, maybe even 5, she had a metaphysical store. And so she had some rooms where she was doing, she had some treatment rooms, and she had a woman who is doing this thing in her office. And because you just have to do it. Like, I can't even explain it, but you just have to do it. Come do it. It's just so good. And I'm like, well, okay. So things weren't like terrible, but I'm like, I'm always about getting better, right? So I went and I saw this woman, and the limiting beliefs and the things that I had created in my mind from my childhood, from that session that came up and got shifted, oh my gosh, life-changing, huge. Right? Like, and maybe you can relate to this, like the first or the second, sometimes even the 5th to the 10th time you discover one of those limiting beliefs. It is like you just feel the weight lifted. Like, you can feel yourself different. You feel that energy is gone. Like, there's something. And it's a really good feeling, right? It feels really good to feel that good. And so a lot of times when people come, things aren't good, and they find this, and they start, and they're like, oh my gosh, and they let go of a limiting belief, and then they feel better, right? Like, I feel instantly better. I can still tell you probably like everything that happened in that session and how I felt afterwards and how it changed my life and all of that, which is for a different show. But anyway, so, just like to have that release, right? And so what I see happen, and what I think happened to me is, so that works. So you keep doing it, right? You keep like shifting limiting beliefs and changing things and doing all that. And then it gets to a point where, I don't know if you found this, and maybe this is where you're at, but it's where I see with a lot of my clients. And this is where I saw, it kind of just happened. Like, there was only so many limiting beliefs we could shift. And I think that's because there's only so much of that core that you can just sort of shift. I think there are other ways. I don't actually believe that you have to dig out all of your limiting beliefs to shift in order to grow into what you want. So if you want more money in your life, I think once in a while, like I think in the beginning, if you found some limiting beliefs, and you shifted them, it felt good. That's awesome. I also think that good sort of, for me, it was, I don't know what an actual high is, but for me, it was like this high of like, it just felt so good. I kept wanting more of that feeling. So I kept looking for like, what limiting belief could I shift to have more of that really good feeling? And I did that for a while, and it just like, I wasn't growing. Like, what I found happening was that, whether I was, I actually ended up studying what this woman was doing and working on myself and shifting a lot of things in myself. And then I also like traded sessions with other people in the area and all that. And what I found is, after a certain point, I felt like, for me and for my clients or the person I was trading with, we were sort of rehashing the same limiting belief was like still in the way. And we were like continually shifting it was a different version of that. It was different, but it just wasn't opening to and I wasn't moving forward like I wanted to be moving forward. And what I realized and what I've come to believe is that there's like just a few limiting beliefs you can shift in the beginning. And then you have to just start stepping into it. You have to become the person. So if we're talking about manifest 10,000, you have to become the person who allows $10,000 to just show up in their life, right? And you can go digging and you can find all these limiting beliefs that are in the way of that. And you can start shifting them and start shifting them. But that's the law of attraction. Like, you're going to find what you're looking for. So if you keep looking for limiting beliefs, and if you could see, I'm like, I talk with my hands. So I'm like picking like things out of a bag, right? You can find as many as you want. Totally. You will always be able to find them because your brain is going to help you find what you're looking for. That's its job, right? It's also the law of attraction. Like, if you believe that there's limiting beliefs in your way, you're going to find them. But if you can step into the place, and this is what we're going to talk about and what I'm going to teach you over the next episodes. If you want to get Manifest 10,000, the book, or you want to join the course, Manifest 10K, what I teach you is we don't go looking for limiting beliefs. We don't even talk about them. We don't even talk about them because I found that didn't work. What worked, and I had my own, I talk about this in Manifest 10K about having this conversation with my dad where I internalized at 15 or 16-year-old, making money was hard. You had to work really hard. You had to work really long hours. Like, it took a long time to make a lot of money. And all these beliefs that came out of that, that situation, and just, the way that money came into my life as a child, the way my dad earned money, which was amazing. He's an amazing man. But I created a lot of beliefs, and I didn't see the path where I couldn't, here's the truth. Like, I knew I couldn't work as many hours as him. Like, I'm not built that way. Like, I work really hard and I can work a lot, but he worked a lot of hours, like, 80 to 100 hours a week. Like, I just know, like, I can do 60 to 80. I used to do that in my corporate job. 60 was probably average, right? I'm capable of working hard, but I couldn't work as hard as I thought I was going to have to work. And so that limiting, like, when I went looking for a limiting belief, or I was like, why isn't more money coming to my life? I do these sessions, like, some version of money is hard, some version of all that would come up always. Like, it wouldn't be the same. So you couldn't say like, oh, we shifted this last week. It would be a little bit different. It would, in this work, sometimes you trace things back to the past. So it would trace back to maybe a different past situation, but it was all sort of just the same stuff. But what happened when I decided that instead of looking at what I needed to fix, I just wanted to look at who I wanted to become, and I wanted to decide my beliefs. I didn't want to have to get my beliefs because I fixed them. I wanted to get my beliefs because I chose them. And when I started to choose my beliefs, and I would choose things like money is easy, money comes to me, I always have enough money, I make money the easiest way possible. When I started choosing beliefs like that, my life started changing. Like, money, that's when my money mindset like hit this huge acceleration, and my ability to attract money and wealth in ease and flow changed. It became so much easier and so much more doable because I changed those beliefs. And I didn't change them by fixing the limiting ones. I changed them by choosing the ones that I want. And so we're going to talk about that. But we're going to talk about how to do that, how to choose your beliefs. It's episodes down the road. Because really, there's a way that is super helpful in choosing your beliefs. If you can create some momentum and some energy and some positive energy around money, which is what we'll do in the next episodes. And this whole series really, that's all about Manifest 10,000, which is really comes down to your money mindset and enjoying making money in your business and being able to do it with ease and flow and grace. So, so often people go back, they're like, oh, I shifted a limiting belief before. So they go back and they try and do it again when they want someplace to grow. And it only works so many times. So if you're at that place, you can breathe a deep sigh of relief, because we don't need to find any of your limiting beliefs. We're going to create the beliefs that you want to be true in your life, and that you want to be governing how money comes into your life, because it's what you believe. Like, that's how you attract, right? Your beliefs and your thoughts, like, that's what's coming in, and that's, creating the ability for money to flow into your life and have your business be even more successful. So the more you can step into being the person who has the money and believing what that person wants, and just constantly choosing your beliefs, like, hey, money's easy, right? I always make enough money, right? Which is what I give you guys mantras to practice at the end of this show, because it's a way of choosing, and that's just a way of practicing what feels good, like what mantra feels good that you want to have. So over the next, the course of all of these episodes that are on Manifest 10,000, we're not going to focus on the limiting beliefs, right? And so if you're been trying to figure out what that belief is, or why you can't find the right belief to shift, or why when you shift it, it's still not working, we are going to take care of all that. I'm excited about that because I love just opening up and showing people you can just step into this. You don't have to fix anything about you. We can just choose something different. You can just choose something different. You can choose to be more successful in your business. You can choose to have money flow easier and abundance flow through your business just by stepping into being the person who has money. So that is what we're going to do. And speaking of people who just step into, having money, being the person who has money, you are going to get to hear my interview with Karen in a couple episodes. It's going to be awesome. She's going to tell you how she read Manifest 10,000 and manifested $14,300 in 50 days of reading the book. And one of my favorite things about her interview in the things that she shared with me, there's so much that I loved about that interview and everything that she shares, but she really stepped into the person who would be attracting money. There's several ways she did that, and you're going to hear about them. One was keeping a sticky note where she wrote down every single amount. She did exactly what I say. She wrote down every amount of money that came into her life. One of the other ones she did, and I want to encourage you as you're listening to, the podcast, you might want to know about this, is she really created a sacred space to read the book. And you're going to hear her tell that story, but she started reading the book one night before bed and then really decided what, I need to do this, not just as before bed reading, but I need to do it when I'm going to focus and I'm going to be in a space. And so she ended up reading the book and taking notes and creating her whole, step-by-step plan from the book. Taking notes from everything in the book and all that, really one just beautiful day in her life where she was in this place of ease and really being the person who manifests $14,300 in 50 days. So I just wanted to let you know that you're going to hear from her. I always love to let you guys know when people are manifesting money, because the more stories you know about how money comes into someone's life easily, you're able to take this information and your brain goes, okay, it's totally possible. Oh, it's even more possible. It's more possible. So I always like to share those stories with you. As you'll probably notice, as I share at least one on every episode, just because it's fun. And a lot of times I like to share the big numbers. I love Karen's story and $14,300. You're going to hear from someone else who manifested, I don't have my notes in front of me, but I believe it was about $7,500 in 24 hours after reading the book. So you're going to hear about those big ones, and you're also going to hear about, other ones. I'm going to share a story on the next episode of a friend of mine who just read a couple chapters and some money started flowing into her life. So anyway, that's the end of our show today. I hope you've enjoyed, sort of this talk and discussion about limiting beliefs and how we're going to handle them and what impact they have on your money mindset and your business. And I encourage you, just do a simple inventory, and just maybe choose some beliefs to practice, to start, saying, just to start even thinking about beliefs that support your business growth and your business success, your personal growth and your personal success, and your financial growth and financial success. So take a minute, maybe just consciously choose one or two beliefs. Even you don't even have to do anything at this point. Just open that door. Just say, man, what am I going to choose to believe? And you just say, I choose to believe that business is easy. Money flows in all the time from all different places, right? And that can be a belief. And you can even just think about that and how that changes the way you look at the world. And when you change the way you look at the world, your beliefs impact, right? Your brain, it impacts what your brain looks for. And so when you believe that business is easy and money is always flowing into it, you're going to look for opportunities for that to be true, to reinforce that belief. So just take a minute or two and just choose some beliefs. And again, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do any hard work. You don't have to go dig for the opposite limiting beliefs. You can just, say, I'm going to start stepping into that belief, right? I'm going to leave you with a mantra today that is this: my beliefs support abundance. My beliefs support abundance. So practice saying that as often as feels good this week. And even just opening to that will let those beliefs, in practicing my beliefs support abundance, will let those beliefs that do support abundance rise to the top. They'll allow those to filter through and you go, oh yeah, I totally believe that, right? It'll allow those beliefs to start taking over. So I encourage you to do that. I'm just going to leave you, with the Manifest $10,000 motto, which is abundance flows through me. So abundance flows through you. Have a fabulous rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us on the Happy Ever After show, where you don't need a genie lamp to get your wishes granted. Now that you're inspired and ready to take action, get yourself on the path to your happy ever after by scheduling a complimentary strategy session at createmyhappyeverafter.com.